Hi, I'm Dada.
I'm Riley.
And thank you for joining us for another MOC unveiling. This is our Lego Harvestore. This, like all our other MOCs, is a freehand build. We don't use Lego Digital Design or anything like that. You might be asking yourself, why am I calling this silo a Harvestore? Or what is a Harvestore? I had these same questions before I built this. I really don't know too much about farms or farming, so I visited a channel called How Farms Work. It's hosted by Ryan and Travis. I'll put a link to their channels, or their channel below, and all the other videos that I reference. The first video that I'm going to reference is their silos versus Harvestore. It basically explains the difference, which I'm going to do again. A silo is made out of concrete, where a Harvestore is made out of metal and coated by glass. And that's actually what gives it its blue look, is the reflection from the glass and the sun. Silos, so obviously a silo is way more heavier. When these things are empty, I guess when you get up on them and you can like kick them and the whole thing will shake, and it's really kind of scary. I would imagine being on one of these when it's empty, whereas a silo is made out of concrete, so it's really heavy. Also, silos like push up. They have, I think they're filled the same way, whereas you push it up one way, but they're right next to it is a bigger bin that goes down, and I guess it pushes up and out, whereas a Harvestore, you just get the product, or the grain, the corn, the silage, whatever you're storing in it from the bottom. Also, a Harvestore works in the same theory as an arch. It needs, since it is thin and everything, it needs like to be pushed up against each other to maintain its shape. There's also like airbags inside of the Harvestore that help regulate the pressure inside, so they can collapse. So anyway, I went to the video silos versus Harvestores. As soon as I saw a Harvestore, I made sure, I went to Bricklink and made sure they made these round bricks so in this dark blue color. And once I saw that, I realized I could build it. I had a little bit of issues with finding the top in white. Have you seen from my tutorials, you see how I fixed that problem. This Harvestore would be about 40 feet tall if it was real. He talks about, Ryan from How Farms Work talks about how you shouldn't like stick your head in there because there's sometimes toxic fumes and you could pass out and fall in there. And I swear I also heard him say that you shouldn't really get in one of these, although sometimes they do have people that work on them from like the bottom, and they can clear out some hay and actually fit down in there. But we saw a show called In an Instant where a guy got stuck, and it wasn't a Harvestore, but it was some kind of silo where he got stuck in grain. And I watched that 2 hours, and the guy was very lucky to live. So let's take you to the top of the Harvestore. As you can see, the Harvestore logo. I don't know if this is exact. I'm pretty sure I've seen some of the ones. I don't know if they changed the logo on them to the newer ones, but some of the older ones have a different Harvestore logo on them. But here's the top. Basically, where you would stand when you're about to fill this thing. This, swings out. Swings out and in, so when you're filling it, you'd have to open up this top latch, put that in, and then sort of the curved thing throws it right back in the Harvestore. This regulates pressure. I believe when you're filling, you need to open that up as well, but it's basically to help regulate pressure, give a little more extra air to open that piece up. But there is our input tube, or I don't even know what you call it, the input. But this is basically, you would put some kind of blower on the bottom. At How Farms Work, they use a John Deere blower. I'm making an international blower just because it's the blower I happen to see first. But it is going to connect on there. And then you would basically, blow up your silage or your corn or whatever you got. It goes right up in there and into the Harvestore. Also, I was going to make this ladder piece all blank, like I have it here down at the bottom. But then the reason why it's there is pretty crucial to have that cage on there. And that's just because farmers work a lot. They're constantly probably overworking themselves, especially in harvest seasons and whatnot. So when climbing up there, if you, for some reason you get some vertigo or you know get dizzy or whatever, and you start to fall, the cage is there to catch you, so you won't fall 40 feet. You're going to fall and probably hurt your arm or something like that, get a couple bruises, but eventually you're going to catch yourself and be safe. So that's why I had to put that cage in there. I'm very glad and happy the way it turned out, especially where I was able to angle it to get it up on top of the Harvestore as well. Another important detail is the power box. This allows you to turn it on and off, and it's different functions like the feed function that turns on a conveyor belt that feeds the cows that you have on your farm. Really, I thought that was really important to put in there. And one of the details that I would have liked to have done is put the intake and the ladder on the same side, but just due to the block restriction of how big everything is, I wasn't able to do that. But I still think it looks really good this way. In this scene I have here, this is another video that I will be referencing from the channel How Farms Work, and this one was called Long Arming the Harvestore. And basically what they're doing here is they're pulling out the gear piece that goes around and pulls out the hay. Once you get, I guess you short arm it at the beginning and it creates like a cone shape inside the silo, and then to get the stuff around the side you put in a link into this big chain. Almost looks kind of like a chainsaw but on steroids, but it basically goes in there, grinds all the hay out. So this is, they're pulling out that piece to put that extra link in. It was a really simple setup they had. They basically just had some like old milk jugs and some boards, and they had this little they had this little lever that they were cranking, this little hand crank that they were pulling out the links of the Harvestore, and we're going to change them. I mean, as you can see, you got the young farmers, and then the middle generation farmer, and then of course we've got Grandpa in there as well. And there's us. So we're really glad you guys joined us for this unveiling of this newest MOC. If you have ever been on a farm, have a farm channel, please leave a comment. I'd like to know what you think of this Harvestore. Just your opinion, your thoughts, if I did a good job or not. What is your favorite part, Riley?
I like this part, how you climb up there.
The ladder, you like? Go ahead, point to it again. You like the ladder part. She really wants to play with that too, and I was telling her, I'm like, it's a little fragile. I'm like, hey, wait till we're done filming. But so now she's gonna go to town on and have a bunch of fun. But we will be coming out with, like I said, at least 4 more MOCs with the farm theme. Obviously, this is something that's on a farm. We hope we delivered with this. It's realistic. We got a lot of good details in there. But that's all we have. So until we come out with another MOC, or maybe we'll get some more parts in and do another haul, or we are going to do a tutorial really soon as well. But until then, we'll see you later. Say bye, Riley.
Bye.